of our cervical rotation comes at C1 and C2. The reason or how they can fit 7 bones in this long region and why they call C1 a pole on the horse is our atlas, the human atlas, has 2 little lateral masses of bone that stick out on the side of that ring. And if you push your fingers way behind your jaw and under your ear, sometimes you can find a sore, sometimes you can find a bony prominence, and that's going to be the lateral masses of C1. I'm checking the lateral masses of the horse on the pole right behind their ears. So that's what I'm feeling for, that lateral mass, and it's sitting like this, high on the left.
Oh, that's why she's out on the left, because it's...
Yeah, and when if the pole is high, and the reason they call it the pole is because so they have the lateral masses behind the ear, and then the body of that bone is a cylinder shape. It looks like a pole. It's like a shaft of a pole, and it literally comes down. Let me see. To this first bump right here. Feel this bump right there. Push in there. That little hard zone.
Yep.
That's the C2. So C1 literally is behind her ear, pole to here. So 90% of the horse's rotation, here's the pole, here's C2, comes right there.
Right from there.
If it's high on the left and they try to rotate, it's going to get blocked and they're going to jump their head.
Nobody's ever explained that to me before.
That's it. And if you look at your cervical spine and the horse's cervical spine, like I said, 90% of your rotation in your neck comes at C1, C2. And then as you go 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, you get 80, 60, 50, 40, 30% of motion. 90% of the range of motion in the cervical spine of the horse comes at C1, C2. And then you get less and less and less all the way down. So if the pole is out, because it's such a long vertebrae, and it creates so much imbalance, or if it's in line, it creates balance. When it's off, you're gonna see the muscle patterns that you see. And 7 out of 10 times, again, it's to the left, okay? So, again, reiterating what we're gonna adjust in the cervical region, left pole and right C5, 6. I'm moving to the withers now. Any inflammation in the withers is gonna be synonymous with inflammation. I'm gonna touch your upper back. Synonymous with inflammation of this area with you. If you have inflammation at this area, C5, 6, 7, T1, 2, 3, humans can possibly get chest, arm, shoulder blade, or arm pain, right? The withers on the horse is synonymous with your lower cervical and upper thoracic. So any inflammation here, if you Google later this evening, because you're just gonna have nothing to do in leisure time, Google, and for lack of a better term, I guess, jammed up withers and front shoulder dysfunction pain horse. And you'll read that inflammation here can create what we call a radicular or brachial neuritis, or radicular pain traveling into the front shoulder and chest, okay? Sometimes you can see here on the sides of the withers where you'll see muscle atrophy. One side of the paraspinal, para meaning around, so the muscles around the spine, part of the spine that we're talking about is the withers. The muscles around here, one side, sometimes you'll see asymmetry. They're not symmetrical. One's gonna be more shallow than the other. 9 times out of 10, we'll find inflammation of withers to that side that's shallow. We'll pull it back, we'll lessen the inflammation. There's better nerve function into the muscle tissue. Muscle tissue starts functioning properly and it builds back up. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So let's check the withers. Another thing too, when I come to the withers, upper thoracic, upper lumbar, lower lumbar, and sacrum, my hand here will be feeling for inflammation. My other hand is gonna be under the stomach of the horse. I'm feeling for a reflex, what they call a visceral reflex. Visceral means organ, okay? So if we find a truly inflamed part of the spine, you're gonna see muscle reaction up here, maybe a little peel away from the horse, a little flexion, right? Not this fasciculation when they're getting the flies off, that means absolutely nothing, right? That's autonomic, sometimes they don't even know that's happening. It's a defense mechanism. So don't let anyone ever come out here and make your horse's skin twitch and say they're sore here.
Okay.
That's bullshit, okay? If they don't, so sorry for my language, but that's what it is. If they don't have their hand under the horse, the stomach of the horse, and when they're palpating, they're gonna see muscle react. Let's see if I can see. There's one right there.
Yeah.
But if they don't have their hand under the stomach, I could be on a residual part of soreness and not on the actual spot, like a traveling pain, like you know, kind of like maybe your shoulder's hurting and it travels to here. I might be touching here and you're pulling away from me, but I'm not getting the spasm. I'm not in the right spot. So when I get to the right spot, I see peel away and spasm. That's the right spot that I'm gonna adjust, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pinch both sides of the withers. Any spot where we get a reaction, flexion and spasm under my hand, you and I will have to check. I'm gonna pinch both at the same time. So when we get a reaction, then I'm gonna go single. I'm gonna palpate right, palpate left. whatever area we get the reaction on, that's what we're gonna adjust. If we find a left wither, that's telling me that the withers are pulled to the left, I'm gonna stand on the right side of the horse and pull them back and vice versa, okay? So let's go to the upper withers first. Nothing there. See that skin fasciculation? Doesn't mean anything. Let's get here. Boom. Okay, legs coming up. We got soreness. I'm thinking that's left, but let me palpate right only. Stay right there. Look, when I push on the right,
Nothing.
not much. Let me see left.
Could that be from, ooh, what's that? Could that be from mounting on the left instead
Yes.
of pulling that way?
Yes.
So mounting block's probably not a bad idea.
Correct. Yeah, anytime we find withers that are that reactive, let me go down more and just make sure. I'm assuming we're probably gonna get reaction all the way down. Yep. Yeah, I know, baby. I know. It's sore. Last one. And see, there's not much there. So from the mid wither to the lower wither, look at this, guys. All of that's gonna be gone when we adjust, okay? So we have left wither mid and left wither low. Nothing up top, mid and low withers to the left. Now we're scanning. The only time that I need Faith's head in neutral or the neck in neutral is only when we're checking the withers. When they look down, what do these withers do? They fan open. When they look up, they close. So if they're not in neutral, it's hard to get a true palpation. It's not so important when we get into the thoracics. So left pole, right 5-6, and then left and lower mid wither. Here's thoracic. Just drop. It's left. Everything's on the left right now. You're seeing residual soreness right there, a little reaction. You see how minor that is?
Right.
Look how big this one is. You see
Yeah.
that? So left thoracic, and I'm spasming. You want to feel the spasm?
Yeah.
Put your hand right where mine is. Way up under there. Can you feel that lift a little bit?
Yeah.
Just a little bit?
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for. Let me get a residual inflammation.
Is that like going,
Yeah, it's a visceral reflex, an autonomic reflex. The nervous system does not lie, right? It's the nervous system, you can't trick it. And that is a true confirmation. And anytime you're on the withers, the thoracic, and the lumbar, and you hit an inflamed part of the spine, their stomach will spasm. They can't hide it. Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's gone. Wait till we adjust, and you feel it again. It's not gonna be there, which is really cool. That's when it gets really fun. All right, so left pole, right 5-6, left wither, mid and lower wither, and left mid thoracic. I'm gonna mark a little area here. It's right there.
right there.
Mm-hmm. Sound here through the lumbar, upper lumbar so far. We're pretty sound through here. Check this out.
Yeah.
Not too much.
When I,
It's right here,
yeah.
but then we're here. I'm not getting too much. So let me check the hips. Can we get her a little bit away from the wall? A little better. I just like to show it to you. There it is. Painted it dark. The reflection. You know, horses don't have really good depth perception. And with glare throws their depth perception off even more. So if I bring like a real shiny bench to them, like close to them, it's almost like 3D, and it scares them. So that's
Part of
why.
our water scares some horses to get used to.
Yeah, good. Okay. Let me put it right next to you. Not getting on you. All we're doing is checking the range of motion in the hip.
Looks like,
That's okay. And this bench is very light because I get down and off. I get up and down off of it a lot. Good more. All right, I want you to see when I press on this right hip. It's not really going anywhere.
Right.
When I press here, one more. See how nice and pliable that is?
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
And I can get it a little bit here, but when I press there, It's not going anywhere. If I press here, look how soft,
Something moves,
look
yeah.
how soft that is. So it is right restriction. We have a low right, which I'm gonna be lifting. It's a little bit of, that's the most difficult one to do on the hip because I'm literally gonna pick her whole hoof off the ground and we're lifting up about 3 to 4 inches. Okay, I like when they're high hip because that's when the owner gets to go hold the leg up and all I gotta do is push it down, you know? All right, so let's reiterate. I am gonna